everyone, to another episode of Spooky Japan Podcast. Today, we have a very special guest, Matthew with Dark Echoes Paranormal. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
We're doing pretty good. So, for the listeners who are not familiar with you, how would you introduce yourself?
I am the producer of Dark Echo Productions LLC. I've been filming commercials. I've been filming documentaries. I've got a lot of stuff in the works. I'm also the host of the Dark Echoes Paranormal Show, who do all the talking on the show. And when you guys see the show, mostly you see I'm talking with the guests and the mediums. So yeah, that's what people recognize me. But mostly people know me as a professional filmmaker.
Okay. Where did the paranormal start for you? What got you interested in it?
Oh, the for me, it's always started when we were young. We lived in one of the most haunted houses in Windsor Locks. I've witnessed anywhere from shadow figures to floating stuff, bangs, apparitions. Our house was well known in Windsor Locks. Everybody knew where we lived at. Police knew who we lived. Sometimes they wouldn't even come to our house when we were younger because they knew what was going on there. So, and then from there, it kind of like, I got older, it kind of followed. And then it really didn't kick in until 2006 after my aunt passed away. And then that's when everything just opened up for me.
Okay, yeah, it started with me young too. I grew up in a haunted house, but I grew up in the church's house. My dad was a Baptist minister growing up, so it's interesting now. My view of the paranormal then compared to now, just because of now, I kind of wish I could go back and help my younger self. Due to the fact is, back then I was told like everything's a demon, and now when you actually get into paranormal, you're like, no, it's not. Not everything is there to hurt me.
So, and I might touch a lot of nerves on this. You know who I blame for all that stupid? Are we allowed to swear in here or no?
We are.
We are.
You know who I blame for all that stupid shit? And I don't care if they come at me because I'm waiting to call them out. All the YouTubers and TikTokers who are just in there for views and likes and fame.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be honest with you. If a demon came knocking on your door, 99% of those people would run with their legs tucked between their legs.
Yeah.
They would. No, there's a lot of people due to that. Due to those kind of people, we don't like them either because they make it so much harder now on real investigators because even if you did get real evidence, everyone is so used to everything being fake that everyone assumes everything is fake.
Yeah.
Well, I did that for our show. I did it in a way when you watch it, you can never ever say it's fake. And these debunkers who are on YouTube will never find anything fake about our show. I made sure I got that down to a T. So when people hey buddy, so when people watch, they're gonna know it's legit. And
yeah,
there's something I heard a couple of days ago. And if he does get this podcast, reach out to me. Kenny Biddle has put out a thing saying, I want to know if mediums are real. Kenny, if you're watching this, reach out to me and I will show you some of the best mediums in the world that will blow your mind that I work with on the show who are now cast members. Because when these mediums come in, they don't know where they're going. And when I get to these locations, I don't research. I'm just as going on the same thing is when I hear the stories from the people who live there and the guests who tell us the stories. So when the mediums arrive there and they do stuff, I'm blown away. So when you see it on camera, it is legit. We had two incidents that just happened where a lot of people are saying it's going to script. There's no script to a T. Like, just real quick. We on the way home from the season finale, we filmed season 2, episode 1 because it was on the way home. But we're now filming season 2 the next year. And the medium that we use, Gregory, never been to this location, never met the owner, looked at the owner, and this guy has tears in his eyes. And I'm saying, why are you crying? He goes, hold on. And he looks at it and he goes, why? He goes, oh, I'm sorry about the loss, of your sister. And I'm like, and then this girl just started. I'm not gonna go into more details. You have to watch the episode, but I'm just sitting there like, I didn't even know that because I don't get in people's personal space. Yeah. And then when we filmed at Cape Cod, we used Stephen the Medium, and we had one of the owners there. Actually, one of the spirits actually called her for her to come to the filming set. I'm not kidding you. And so I didn't know anything about this. Stephen walks in and looks at this woman who was not even supposed to be on the show and goes, oh, who's Lori? And she goes, that's my mom. And I was so Kenny Biddle, if you're watching this, I've got the best mediums for you.
Yeah. And even if you watch this show, like there's a lot of stuff that goes on our show too that I can pick up, and Amanda will pick up too. We'll ask questions about it, and then it blows people away because they don't see what I see or what she sees. And the thing about it is that we don't have a script. When I go to place, I don't want to know anything, but they know that I'm going there already because they already see me going there, and they already pegged you. They already pegged you,
Well,
right?
they know you're coming before you
Yeah.
even leave your house, so.
Yeah. So the thing about mediums is that sometimes we see things, but we can't show what we see. We can't prove what we see. So it's really hard. Either you believe me or not, but if you don't, that's fine too.
No, I believe, like, when I worked with these mediums,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what I was getting into. It's like,
Yeah.
I wanted to do a show where it tells about the history, it tells about the spirits, and then the mediums come in, they do what they do, and we're just there to do an investigation just for that aspect. But most of the show is about the history and the mediums and what they do. Like the season finale, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but it turned into something even amazing because it went from supposed to be about the location till something else about the season finale, which I can't wait for people to see because I work with this new medium called Stacia, and she said something that only I was told about, and it's just like, yeah. So it's just when you guys see these new episodes, the way I revamped them, Hollywood gave me some tips and some ideas for the show, and the way that I took what they told me to do what I do now. I've told that we have a huge hit coming up once all 8 episodes drop.
Interesting.
It sounds like it, yeah. And I know everyone here does appreciate a good, real paranormal show, not the fake ones we see or not the ones that are over exaggerating. Everyone knows what I'm talking about when I say that. Where
if you want the cosplayers, you want the entertainers, go to YouTubers and go to TikTok. That's where you want. If you want something legit and you want something real at its finest, then check out Dark Echo Paranormal on Amazon and Paraflix because it's about the realest you're ever going to see.
Yeah. It's sad because all these other shows bring up these other people and they said, "Oh, I want to become a paranormal investigator," or "I want to check out spooks and stuff like that." And then when they do it, they said, "Gee, that's the most boring field that you guys are in." I said, "Of course, not everything pops out and you say, 'I am a ghost,' or 'I am a spirit,' come and check me out." No, it doesn't work like that. And
everybody thinks paranormal is going to get you rich and famous, and it's not. When you finally realize there's no money in this field, you're not going to become famous, you're not going to become rich, then you will find successful in this field. And also too, I'm probably gonna get a shitload of messages, which I don't care. Don't get involved in the paranormal community because if you do, you are going to lose who you are and you're not going to be any successful. I stay out of the community, which I'm fine with. I'm in the filming community, not the paranormal community, and we're going right where I want us to be.
That's probably with as much dramas in the paranormal community, it's probably best to stay out of it. To be honest with you,
it's not going to get you famous. It's not going to get you whatever you want. And you could spend hours in a place and maybe not find anything, or maybe find only a little bit, and then you have to go back again over and over again to find what you need, your evidence that you need. And sometimes you won't get anything. It depends on who you are and what your energy is, and how you think about that person or that place or whatever. There's a lot of things that ride on it. And it's not for the faint of heart either, if you have high expectations too.
I go in with an open mind. Like if something happens, something
Yep.
happens. If not, it is what it is. Like I'm still
Yep.
going to show the
Yep.
boring parts with the good parts. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I'm not going to show
Exactly.
everything because I'm trying to keep the audience. You know, because of TikTok and YouTube, the audience expansion stands is ridiculously slow and short.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I'm trying to, when I'm cutting the investigation, I'm keeping the best parts so people, they keep watching.
Yeah.
But I have to say that we have worked with some of the best paranormal equipment makers out there: Ghost Hunter Store, NCPD, John Mallory, Troy Dixon, Lauren Helkison, Ghost of Augustine. We use a lot of paranormal equipment on the show and love everything about it. But my number one go-to is always a voice recorder or Gary Golka of DOS Distribution, the SB7 Pro Spirit Box. What that man does with his instruments is amazing because he lives and breathes this. And he is actually, he has this thing called Radio X, and I'm telling you guys, this is a real radio to the spirit realm. There's nothing like you've ever seen before. I've seen it up and close. Mind blowing.
Interesting.
I would love to see something like that, or even get something like that.
Yeah.
He wants to. We're gonna film something with him down the line of showing Radio X, so I'm excited about that.
That'd be cool.
Do you have any favorite places like to investigate?
Oh, I would say probably my favorite one out of everything that we've done so far. I would have to say Wildwood Sanatorium because every time we go there, it's something different. It's something unique. The stuff that happens with us, the EVPs we captured. I would probably say right now that's my top. But most of the times, I love asylums. I love old buildings. I love all that because that's history. And then I can't wait for maybe season 2 that we do work in asylums. That when we put these mediums in there, what's really going to tell the story?
Yeah. Asylums were the thing of the past, but the things that went on there was so sad, so heartbreaking. The spirits have a lot to tell.
We had an episode coming up at Twisted Vines. We always wonder, do spirits like what we're doing? Do they like if we're having fun? So we were up in the one of the second floor shooting a scene with me and Shannon, the medium, and all of a sudden the light gets turned off, and I still have my recorder going, and we capture an EVP of a woman saying "cut" the minute the light turned off. So I think she had enough of us. She's like, "Okay, cut, you're done, get out." So that was wicked.
I've talked to mediums that went to the same places I have, and they told me a lot of spirits are just they get tired of it too. Everyone coming in each night and they're asking pretty much the same questions, and it's just like after a while, it's just like the most repeat thing for them, and they do get tired of it.
Yeah.
So I like
How many?
the people who are in the chat line. Tammy Lee is our audio location manager and paranormal investigator on the show. Stacy Reed's our public relation manager. She handles all the press, all the things. She's also an investigator. Tom, I can't say nothing about Tom just yet until season 2. Sorry, Tom. But yeah, keep a lookout for Tom. But those two right there are the women behind the cameras when we're filming. We also have our amazing DP Scarlett. All the cinematography you work seen during the investigation and filming is her. And also sometimes when when people get tired, Tammy steps up and she does camera as well. So a lot of her work is the investigations. So we work together very well to get the job done. We don't complain. We don't argue with each other. If somebody goes down, we know we have to take care of them. Like me, I have a blown disc. Did not know that. And I kept shooting. I was hurting. I was in pain. But I knew the show had to get done, and I kept going. But the team helped me out. They took over. They helped me. They let me relax when I needed to. So that's what it's all about. If you don't have a good crew, you ain't going to have a good show.
We found that out. It's also about chemistry. I
Mhm.
realized it's not, and it's not also just about shows with chemistry, but like paranormal teams in general. I've tried so many people, but if the chemistry is not there, you can't work well together. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
unfortunately, I found out because I would always test people, go to a location that I already knew and I felt safe in. to kind of test people to see how well they do, how well we work together. Unfortunately, a lot of them had the expectation of the TV shows or the YouTubes or the TikToks, and it just wasn't. They realized it's not something they're interested in. It's a lot of sit around and wait.
Even on TV shows, it's like what ghost hunters, all them guys. When you're filming with them, they're there, and they'll take certain people, film their segment, and then the people who are waiting to film theirs. It's a lot of sitting around and waiting to film. It's not like what people see, go 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 go, like TikTok and YouTube. It's all go 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 go, and it's all go home and edit and stage and fake, and so it's with me, I give people the layout of the show. You want to be a guest, but as a season 2, I am no longer working with guests, and the reason why is because I'm tired of people's egos. I'm tired of people begging me to be on my show, but I can't be on your podcast. I can't be on what you do. I don't get invited to your events, but you blow up my emails to be on my TV show, but we don't get invited to the events. So me and my crew decided we're done. We have the core group. We know the story. We have the layout, and we're just going to kill it in season 2.
Amanda, did you see that? Behind him?
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Yep. Oh, it's okay. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, their spirit, you could probably tell them.
Yeah.
In my house?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe is. That's what I was doing this, and I was going, and I was having a conversation with it too. Hi, Simone. Oh, yeah. It's your aunt. She's saying, don't trust all kinds of spirits because some of them can be nasty too. You know, they're not all like
Did you just
friendly.
say my aunt?
Yeah.
Did she tell you her name?
She doesn't. She said that ain't important. She said sometimes spirits can be real nasty. And some of them can't be real friendly either.
My aunt is my guidance of who I got into this field. So very, very interesting that you came up with that. So that's pretty. Yeah, see, you just never know. It's like
Podcasts are really strange because when we do one, like there's no booklet or anything like that. We could go sideways. We could go it goes sideways. It goes any way it wants to go. And yeah, she's when I do this, I go, okay, and she's talking a lot in the background.
She was quite the talker.
Yeah. She said, "Now all I need is a cup of tea and a little piece of cake, and then we're good."
We had someone on the show that Irene said I was talking to the spirit, and they in that place you investigated, they were not happy with the crucifixes you had in your pockets. They're just like, how did you know we were given crucifixes? Because they never showed it on camera.
Nope.
But they had crucifixes all in their back pockets, all given to them and blessed. And they're like, we never told anyone we got those. We also like hid those on our body.
Wow.
And I said, you got a crucifix. You need to go and when you go and investigate certain places, you need to carry a crucifix. And they said, huh? And they said, what? And I said, yeah. I said, and they said, we got them. They were handmade. I said, oh, okay. And they were showing me this. I said, whoops. I went, whoops. Like, I didn't know. I just, some of the stuff I blurred out, and I said, oh, okay. And then when it comes to real sensitive subject, I get kicked out of this podcast so many times you won't believe it.
We're so used to it, yeah.
3 times in a row is really, yeah. When it comes to certain videos about certain haunted places that are not good, I get kicked out. And I have to come back in again. And then sometimes the link said, there's no such link. I said, okay, you guys got to cut it out. Okay. I need to come back into this podcast.
Sometimes they don't want you coming in and talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or my screen goes totally blank, or my mic goes totally off, and I said, okay, this is gonna happen again. You guys are gonna mess around with my equipment again. Stop it. Like, I literally have to say that on camera, and everyone's like, what? What's going on with her? It's just, yeah, it's my day in life, right? It's just everything here. It's just like you never know what's gonna happen, right?
I'm
Especially,
when I'm done filming, I'm turned off.
yeah,
It is a job because I own a production company.
yeah,
But once we're done filming, to me, I'm done. It's just I don't need to know anymore.
yeah.
A lot
um,
of people, a lot of people take this paranormal stuff way too serious. People,
I know.
relax, calm down. It's just for
Yeah,
fun. We all have disagreements. We all have, you don't like
yeah.
this, we don't like that. We don't have to hate each other for it. We can
No,
disagree,
yeah.
and it's just paranormal should just be all fun. It's not a real job. I don't give a crap if you're on a network for 24,000 whatever. It's not a real job.
No.
Once you
In a
realize
way,
that,
mine is a real job because it's with me 24/7, and I feel things 24/7, and they come to me 24/7. I can't turn it off, but I do make my boundaries, and I do say no, not today. Come back another time when I'm ready to talk to you. But it's, for me, it's a little bit different. But yeah, I work with spirits every day, and I talk to them every single day. So it's a little bit harder for me to say, okay, I'm done. Bye. See ya. Like, no, I can't do that.
I can
And
just turn it off like that.
but you see, we both live in a very haunted country, okay? And Japan is one of the, it's like, it's really old, and the stuff happens that's good and bad. And on her side, it's very old and very sad. My side, it's more dangerous and adventurous for some
Well,
people.
she's in Tokyo. I'm in Nagasaki, so
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
why when we talk about Japan, I'll say, "Oh, in my part of Japan compared to her part of Japan," because mine is more of the country, small town, more elderly compared to obviously Tokyo, which has a lot more people.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
her side is like atomic bomb side. My
Oh
side is
yeah, I got
suicide.
like two hours to the east of me is the Nagasaki bombing site. 5 hours north of me is the Hiroshima one. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to get our episodes out in Japan. I'm trying to figure out what the networks need for that to happen.
Well, you know what? We'll help you.
Yeah, it's when it comes to networks, they have so much demands. You have to meet them, or you're not gonna get your show where you need it to go. You can send it to networks, and they'll just they'll refuse it. Like, no, thank you. Like right now, I have to, like, I'm working with Paraflix. Like a lot of our shows are on Paraflix. Like all the new
Hmm.
episodes that go there first.
Hmm.
But right now, I'm in a talk with distribution dealers who want all 8 episodes to put on their platforms, and these are some big platforms.
Yeah.
So I have to edit all 8, and then each episode that I finish goes to Paraflex first, and then they're all going to go to the networks. And then once obviously once I finally sign that dotted line to the right
Hmm.
network, then then we're going to be busy.
Japan is a very strange place to do paranormal, because some places you can visit, some places I will say don't go there, because you will not come out tomorrow, or they will not find your body tomorrow.
That dangerous.
And yeah, that bad. They got places like after World War II. There's parks that you can go in during the daytime, but if you go in at nighttime, yeah, there ain't gonna be any sign of you at all, and the police are gonna be looking for you, and they won't find you, because they'll take everything from you, including your whole body and everything, and your soul, and yeah, you're gone for good. And yeah, so that's why I say, hey, if you want to be adventurous, come to Japan, but be careful. That's all I have to say.
oh, you're guaranteed to get evidence in Japan
Yeah,
because
yeah,
in Japan, I feel like energy wise they're stronger here,
yeah.
but they're also less they're also less shy. Like I've seen the most shadow figures here in Japan than I
Yeah.
ever did in the US.
Yeah. And they'll come up and they'll say, "Hey, I'm here. What are you gonna do about it?" And they said,
Yeah,
"Oh,
there's sometimes they've done that, or they just
yeah,
appeared, like, "Yeah, I'm here because I can be. What are you gonna do about it?"
yeah,
Stacy wants to know: do you guys have to pay to investigate in Japan?
no,
It's because it's not like the US where you can book investigations. It's funny because Japan, most of the cultures and traditions revolve around the dead.
mm-hmm,
However, when it comes to the paranormal, they try to avoid it. So there is no places you can book to investigate. It's one of those you're on your own kind of thing.
yeah,
There
Ah,
is
okay.
so about 2 hours north of me, there is a place in around Fukuoka that's called
mm,
the
how,
Inunaki Village
mm-hmm,
or Howling Dog Village in
mm-hmm,
English. It basically is a town in the woods. If you ever seen the movie Wrong Turn,
Oh yes.
it's kind of based off of that town.
mm-hmm,
Well, that town is basically based off of that town in here in Japan in the woods, where literally you walk to a point in the woods and there is still the sign there today that says beyond this point, Japanese law does not exist. So anything went. They built that town
mm-hmm,
for that specifically because the outlaws just like I don't want to do Japanese law, so they built their own town in the wood in the mountains in the woods. So
yeah.
it's
Okay, won't be going there anytime soon.
well, it doesn't
Uh,
have its inhabitants anymore, so it's now
mm,
abandoned. But
mm. My husband knows about that place because he grew up not too far away from it. He said, "You want to go? I'll take you there." So we got a guide, and he said there's lots that happened there. And when he was a kid growing up, every kid grew up in that area knew about that area. It's not like somebody would keep quiet about. Like it was just the big thing of the town in that area.
we
Eh,
really we really don't have any paranormal shows filmed in Japan.
Nope.
It would be an
Well,
interesting place for someone to start filming because of
Yeah.
how
guess we're going
haunted
to
it is.
Japan.
Yeah.
We're no one wants to come out here. Well, there was one TV show that wanted to. However, their requirements are they wanted like hard evidence of the history of the place, like documents or whatever. We don't have that here in Japan. They
No.
reach out to us like, well, we can't find any. Do you guys have any more resources? And we honestly don't. We don't. You cannot go to the you cannot go to the library and learn about the history of a location. There's no
No.
such thing as vital records. There's no records of a place. So basically, if you're a medium, that's probably the best place to
Yeah.
come is because
Yeah.
you're not gonna be able to research anything beforehand.
No. And another thing is that old people, if you get in touch with certain old people that are around the area, they'll talk to you and they'll tell you stories about it. 90% of the stories are true because it comes down from generation to generation.
It'd be a good place
It's
for them.
just, yeah, it's just different. And if they have documents, they probably shredded it
Yeah.
long time ago. So yeah,
That's
I
what they were.
mean,
That's what they were doing here. A lot of the old asylums, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and they left all
yeah,
the documents in there. Then HIPAA finally got involved, and they started removing all the documents from the buildings.
yeah. And especially certain haunted places, like they'll build on they'll, because land is so precious here, they'll build something on a certain land that was probably had a lot of sword fighting a long time ago. And when the samurais were fighting against each other and who's gonna be shogun, so that's what they were fighting about. And the land has a lot of bloodshed, and they'll build apartments and they'll build whatever all over the place. And then they'll remove a cemetery and they'll build a road on top of it. So yeah, it's just like it's crazy. And yes, and then yeah, it's pretty freaky, and especially after an earthquake. Yep, that gets really weird. Stuff happens, and yeah, you can't. You said, "Oh, okay, there's a spirit there." Oh yeah, okay, we know there's a spirit there. Okay, it's like, yeah. So what else is new, right? It's just one of those things and one of those places that happens to be freaky haunted, and yeah, and here since after COVID, a lot of small companies had to go belly up, and a lot of people decided to commit suicide. So the train stations are haunted too, because the people jump in front of a train to kill themselves. And yeah, you can, if you're sitting on the train in the middle of the night, you but to see apparitions of a person or whatever, and you'll see people walking on the train tracks or around the area in the train station at night, and it's just really, people are advised not to go take the late train. The last train is at 3 o'clock in the morning, so people are advised not to take the last train home. Go home before that.
That'd be the train that I take home.
Yeah.
Building off of what Irene was saying, though, is here in Japan, it's mostly a Buddhist country, and
Yeah.
in a Buddhist religion, if let's say you're sad or depressed,
Hmm.
you're allowed to commit suicide to try again in your next life.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately we found leads to more suicidal spirits here that we encountered. So
Yeah. Just the other day, we were going to a rock showing. Like I buy a whole bunch of crystals and rocks, and I share them with my friends. And I was going to a rock showing. The train was late 30 minutes because there's a person on the tracks. They were trying to clean up the tracks. They were trying to hose down the tracks. Yeah. And I said, okay, we're gonna be sitting here on the train waiting, right? And yeah,
Sounds like the force.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that forest too. It's just that whole area is just energy charged, right? There's 5 lakes underneath the forest, underneath the Mount Fuji, which is where the forest is. And the 5 lakes they're all dead. Like this water's black. And the trees are weird, and the energy is weird. You don't hear birds chirping. You don't see flies flying around. It's just creepy haunted. And I went when it was raining, so it made it worse. Can't do this. Okay, let's go someplace else. But yeah, and that forest is just totally different. It's called Aokihana Mori, and
it's not all haunted though.
no, just that one part, right?
It's interesting because I know when everyone thinks of suicide forest, it's the whole forest. It's actually
No,
not.
no.
Yeah, what she was saying is part of it is you don't hear any birds, you don't see any animals, you don't even hear or see any insects, and
Mm-mm,
trees grow in weird directions and
mm.
just start bending. And even scientists are like, I don't know why they're not growing straight up; they keep bending.
They're
But there's
twisted.
also, yeah, there's also another part of the forest where I've seen like videos where a lot of the locals will hike every day just because it's the complete opposite where it's so peaceful, it's so serene, and
Hmm.
such a beautiful little place to hike. Birds
Hmm.
chirp, sun is nice and shiny or whatever. It's just like the complete opposite. But they
Yeah,
also know they're like, yeah, you don't want to go down this path because that leads to the bad part of the forest. So there's a good part and a good bad part of the forest.
yeah.
So it's
And
it's so weird.
once you go in, you can't come out. There's no way to come out because they'll make you stay in there, so you'll die in the forest.
Yeah, we have a place here in Newtown, Connecticut called Dudleytown. It's got a huge history. It's supposed to be very haunted, but I actually found out from the state troopers because I used to work at Homeland Security. I was one of the security officers who watched the building. I made good friends with Lieutenant Sean Corey, and he told me all about, why people are not welcome at Dudleytown. He says not because it's haunted, it's because you can actually fall to your death in the old cellars.
Mm,
So that's why they don't want nobody on a property, because it's not because it could be haunted. Maybe. Has anybody ever investigated? No, because Dark Entry Force wants nobody on the property. They
yeah,
turned down a $2 million production by Steven Spielberg. So that's Steven Spielberg couldn't even get in there. So that's pretty. So that place
yeah,
is locked down. So, and then, I found out is because you can die. It's because not because of the ghost. You can die of falling in one of the cellars.
yeah. That's why they don't want you to go into anything haunted in this country, because it's at your own risk. But then, if you're missing, the police department has to bring out all these resources to find you, and it's like you're crippling resources and money being spent on finding you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
Same
you're being
thing
an
when you
idiot.
go. Same
And you're
thing when
being
you
an
know
idiot.
when these
Yeah.
explorers go into the asylums, they
Yeah.
get hurt, they get lost, they got to pay money
Yeah.
to go find your stupid ass.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That's
they rather
why.
not.
Yeah. And you know, and you get these newbies going in there, and they're going to certain haunted areas, and especially the areas that you shouldn't be going, and their parents are preparing their funeral the next day because they shouldn't have been there, and stuff like that is going on, and you know, they don't really know what they're getting into, and they say, oh, that's cool, this is haunted, let's go there, you know, the young people, right? Yeah.
Thrill seeker. Yep.
Yeah. And the only thing that I would suggest is go to the local police department, ask permission to go in there, and tell them how many people are going in, and you know, just be respectful when you go to a place like that, because you don't want to be a hinder on somebody else's butt because of you.
All these big locations here out where we are in the United States are getting ruined because of all these YouTubers claiming demons, demonic possessions.
Yeah.
No, I've made up my own mind that if a certain YouTuber went to these locations, I will not waste my time or my crew's time filming at this location.
You know what gets me? They go into haunted area. They take a bottle of spray paint, right? And they
Oh.
trash the walls.
Oh, that's called Urban Explorers.
Yeah,
Whatever it's called. Whatever.
There's also a lot of
tag them. Yeah.
There's also a lot of YouTubers who break the rules. Like we talked to a location owner, and he said one of the rules is no seances. And then they don't. I guess they didn't realize they're on camera or whatever. But he caught them trying to do a seance, and unfortunately not a lot of people know what they're doing when it comes to like seances.
Yeah.
Like
Or
you saw
Ouija
in a
boards.
movie.
I always tell my crew and the guests, just because you're not on camera with me does not mean you're not on camera in the building.
Yeah.
Because a certain two individuals made some sexual remarks to a property owner, and and people idolize these people. Keep idolizing people who sexually make remarks to women.
There's a lot of that in paranormal field, unfortunately, right now.
Oh yeah. There's so much drama, you won't believe it. It's worse than a soap opera movie.
That's why I don't get involved. Like, look, and I'll say this proudly: we don't get invited to Paracons. We're not losing any sleeps over it.
No.
We don't get invited to these para events. We're not losing sleep over it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to get involved with the drama. I'm not trying to get involved with people like that.
Yeah.
I'm in the film industry, like I keep telling people. Like, we just got invited to New York Film Festival. This is going to be huge.
Wow.
And we're going to be guests, which I'm super excited. We're going to be meeting some big people in the industry. We're going to be meeting people who do props and stuff like that. It is going to be huge. And we got invited as guests because of what we do. And that to me is where it needs to be. Like, look, all these, you're spending $1,000, $500 to go do these VIPs with these people on TV and YouTube. I'm going to be honest with you. They don't give a shit about you. All they care about is your money, because when you wait in line to go see these people, do you know they charge you $30 a selfie? People, $30 a selfie. Come on, man. Like, if we ever become popular or famous and we have lines that are out the door, I'm going to start from the end of that line and I'm going to meet everybody to make them feel like they got something out of it. I would never charge somebody $30 for a selfie. I would never charge somebody $10. Like, when we do our events, we have packages. You have the meet and greet for $15. You get a postcard, you get stickers, you get photos, you get to meet the mediums. That's pretty badass. But for the expensive, for the overnight investigations, you get the postcards, you get the stickers, you get the mediums, you get the investigations, and you get to see a gallery reading. We're doing stuff that people don't do, because I've seen what it is. It's like, okay, you go meet these people from TV. They don't care about you.
Yeah.
I'll have a conversation with you. I don't like, you can see me on the street or whatever. I'll talk to you. I'm not a fake persona like all these YouTubers and TikTokers who are trying to make money off this. We are legit. We are real. You get what you get. I am who I am, and that's the end of the story. You don't get nothing else. And my crew's just the same way. They're amazing. They talked like when we did Cape Cod. I don't think any other show's done this, but we had this amazing little guest, 11-year-old figure skater, and the girls went out and got her something amazing for being a guest on our show. What TV show does that? Sorry?
Nope.
Ghost Hunters don't do that.
Nope.
Paranormal State never did that. All these YouTubers and TikTokers don't do that. We make people feel, thank you for having us. Thank you for giving your location to us. Thank you for inviting your family members to us. That's the difference between us and all the other people out there. We are real. We are respectful. And that's how it should be.
I knew someone who said that they met their idols in paranormal, and it was $20 for an autograph, an additional 50 if you also want a photo with them, is what they told me. And I'm just like, I would have passed. There's no way I would wait in that line to find that out.
Nope. I wouldn't do that either. It's just it's ridiculous, you know that?
Yeah, that is. And I'm just like, that would not have been worth it to me.
Like, I got invited to these Paracons. I'm like, I'm good. I have no need to hang out with ghost hunters. I have no need to hang out with kindred spirits. I have no need to hang out with Project Fear, aka Fake Fear. No, I have no need to hang out with any of them because end of the day, they mean nothing to me.
Yeah.
What would be your most?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. That's what I was gonna ask. Do you have like any experiences that, or even locations that was like too much for you for like either fear or any other reason?
Nope. I don't get scared. Like, I can have something happen, or like it hasn't happened yet, but like let's just say I accidentally, or something happens, I accidentally get pushed on camera by a spirit. I'll get up and be like, "Hey, man, that was pretty fun. Can we do it again?" But just be more gentle. Like, I have no fear, no fear at all. It doesn't. This is not like, again, this is not like YouTube. No. I'll sit there and just be like, all right, guys, do we capture that? Do we get that on camera? Hey, pretty cool. Like, we had something amazing happen where when we were filming at Twisted Vines, and it's in the episode, just before we're getting ready to do solos, our good friend Jacqueline, when Tammy was about to hit record on the camera, the light got smacked off the camera. And I left the raw video on there so you guys can see it on the episode. We're calm and collective. We're not freaking out. I'm just like, well, shit. Okay, well, that just happened. All right, cool. Yeah. And I'm just like, I said, don't break my effing equipment. I'm joking with that. But we're not freaking out over it. We're not like, if that was a YouTube, it'd be like, oh my god, did you see that?
And you see them running out of the place, right?
Look, I could be scratched on camera. I could be slapped. I could be whatever. And I'll just sit there and be like, well, that just happened. Cool. It's not, I get it. You're trying to get the views and the likes and to make the money. Okay. Well, out of respect, please call yourself a cosplayer.
Yeah. I get that too.
I've heard that where people are saying like, you just get so used to everything. You're desensitized. The room could be floating, things could be flying everywhere, and you're like, just another day.
Yeah.
Like during the filming, the camera people and audio people cannot talk. Even if they see an apparition or if they see something happening, they cannot talk to us. And I made sure that, so when people it's the real deal. Like, I used to do 2 people at a time. Well, I stopped doing that because now, for the season finale, I wanted to try solos with everybody. And I love the way how that went. I love how it's just the camera crew and the investigator, and whatever happens. So now when people watch that with the new solos, that's going to be the new style that we do. Like at the end of the show, I'm the last solo because I give I do my investigation, then I give my wrap up, I give my final thought. And the one thing that we're doing that nobody's doing, we'll never tell you place is haunted. We always leave it to you, the audience, to decide, is the place haunted or not. Not
Yeah.
too many people are doing that. I will never claim a place is haunted unless the audience decides it.
Yeah.
That's good. Compared to everyone, you're like, this place has to be haunted.
Yeah. Earlier, you were talking about saying that it was something that could have been not real, but how do you talk about people saying, "Oh, that could be debunked," or "That's just the wind"? Like,
well, it's good that you say that, because I filmed the documentary, and that's coming out end of June. It wasn't me. I was hired to do a job, and the people were freaking out over something, and I knew what it was right away. I knew what it was. So I took the camera without making them look bad. I walked down the hall. I pointed the camera to what was making that noise, and then I came back out so the audience sees. Don't overreact unless you're going to go try to find out what it is. Like, if I hear a door slam, we'll go expect it. Or if like a chair moves, or like, so I'll debunk it. But like when I'm using equipment and I know there's no cell phone, we have no cell phones on, there's no walkie-talkies in our pockets, because a lot of people fake stuff with the walkie-talkie trick.
Yeah.
We have none of that. Yeah. And if something happens, we know it's legit. We know it's real. But if it keeps happening over and over, okay, then we got to inspect. Okay, something's going on. It's the same spot, same equipment's going off. We need to find out what is going on. And most of the times we do find that out. So a lot of stuff that you see in the upcoming episodes, I can't believe what we captured. And I'm still mind blown what we captured. You don't, if you're there for the right reasons, you don't got to fake people. You don't got to make, like, when I watch people's videos, I'm listening to on $1,000 studio monitors. I hear every little pin drop. I hear every shift. I hear every different thing. I know when people are adding sounds in, when they're not adding sounds in. You can't fool me. And I was always told by my aunt, God rest her soul, if I ever did a show, do it real, do it legit, and you will have success.
Yeah.
So where did you learn about the paranormal? How did you study it?
Well, after my aunt passed away, I went to I wanted to go ghost hunting, and all of a sudden, like, I started feeling different. I sensed different stuff. I felt different stuff. And then I just started going to graveyards and taking pictures. It went from graveyards to houses to TV shows, then my own filming company, and then COVID hit. That kind of messed everybody up. Yeah. And then I went back into writing a horror script, and then I got back into the paranormal. Like, I shot a couple episodes with the first season. I sent it to my friends in Hollywood, and they said, "Okay, Matt, you need to step back a little bit and rethink this right here." And and I spent 2 hours on just like this on a normal call, just us, and they gave me pointers. So, and that's how you, when a professional gives you advice, everybody who's watching this, take your ego, put it in a box. Listen to the professionals, because they know what they're doing, and they've been in the industry a lot longer than I did. And they say to me that's not going to work, then it's not going to work. I need to change it. Plain and simple. Just like this paranormal field, there is no professionals. Nobody has the right answers. Nobody is better than anybody else. And the word demonologist, that was the most made up bullshit I've ever heard in my life. That name was made up. Demonologist. No such thing. Doesn't exist. So it just makes you feel like you got a big title. But and like I said, I'm a blunt person. Love me, hate me or not, I am who I am. I'm real. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. And that's just how it is.
How do you decide the locations you're going to go to? Like, what makes you pick them over something else?
I don't. And the amazing person who does that is Tammy Lee. She handles all the locations. She says, "Okay, can we film this day? Perfect, let's do it." And I don't know the location until we're in the car driving to that location. Because I want to go in blindfold. I want to go. So when I'm meeting the owners for the first time and they're telling me their stories, you see my reactions like, oh, okay. Oh, this is great. This is exciting. if I knew where I was going,
Mm-hmm.
I'd just be like, oh, well, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I want the audience, like, the show is more about the audience. If you don't get the audience involved, you don't have a good show. Plain
Right.
Yeah.
simple. Once you
Yeah.
forget about the audience, the show, you might as well just forget doing what you're doing. I'm also too. I'm very religious. I'm Catholic, and I bring in religion a lot in the paranormal field. A lot of people shun away from that. I will never shun away from our religion. Tammy's religious. Stacy's religious. We're all religious, and we all work together.
Tammy, you might have to consider Japan since it's
Yeah.
not very investigated over here.
Yeah.
What if they allowed us to come film out there? We would do it.
There's only us two who will be able to talk about it. That's why we have this podcast, because there's only us two.
Yeah, you don't see too much about people talking about you see the Hollywood movies, you see, but you don't see the people like, YouTubers, they go out the urban X's, they go out to the band in Japan and stuff. They talk about stuff, but you don't see people like you guys talking about it.
And the thing is that a lot of young people now don't believe in it.
It's probably because of YouTube and TikTok.
Yeah.
It is. It's like I had family members or I had friends, they call me certain people, and I said, don't ever put me in that category with them morons.
Yeah. But you see, it's a lot of young people now are very educated, okay? So they're more analytical, and they say, okay, prove it. If they can't see it, if they can't touch it, if they can't talk to it, they won't believe it.
Well, we had a guy, big wrestler guy. This guy was built like a brick, and he was our guest on one of the episodes in New York. And he had so much experience that when it came time to investigate, he said, "Nope, I'm good." He goes, "I can fight what I can see. I can't fight what I can't see." And when you guys watch this episode, you're gonna see this guy just tap out during the investigation. It is hilarious.
Yeah, but the older people do believe it, and they do get it. But I think a lot of people are more afraid, right, Amanda? They're more afraid. Yeah. They're more afraid of it coming after them than
seeing what happen. Sure. Is it likely to happen? You've got a better chance of winning a lottery than that happened.
Yeah. That's why you see a lot of abandoned homes all around the cities where Amanda is and where I am and in other prefectures, because they're haunted and they just pick up and leave leave the house there. And you know what? They're for sale. If you want it, you can buy it for a penny.
All these TikTokers and YouTubers with all these haunted objects, enough is enough. Not every damn object is haunted. Sorry.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Publicity. Cool. Yeah. Whatever. Do you? Like, I have a doll that I was given to me. She's got red eyes. If I really wanted to, I can make this girl be like the most haunted doll in the world, but she's not, because I'm not fake.
Yeah. But then there's a lot of dolls out there that have spirits in them too, because I've talked to them.
They do, but it's out here where I'm from. It's all gimmick and publicity.
There's a lot of haunted objects here in this country too, especially where Amanda is. After the atomic bomb, they're all charged with electricity, and they have a peace memorial building where they kept all these objects in it, and you should go in it one time. You could feel the energy, and it's right in your face too.
You can put me anywhere, and I'll stay there all night. It wouldn't faze me.
So, do the spirits like to communicate with us since places are barely investigated in Japan? Yes.
Yeah.
Irene will say it even herself. She hates leaving her house for that reason.
Yeah. I don't like going outside because the minute you go outside, they come after you. They not come after you. Like, they peg you and they know that you can see them. They know you can hear them, so they come running to you. And I said, "Okay, guys, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Like, leave me alone. Leave me alone." And yeah, there's a lot of places that have a lot of energy to it, and it's just really crazy because the roads are very narrow, and accidents do happen, and deaths do happen from car accidents and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, you don't have to go far to see anything haunted in this country.
No, you just leave the house and you're gonna run
Yeah,
into a ghost pretty
yeah,
much here in Japan,
yeah,
wherever
yeah.
you are.
And
And
Amanda is the same way. When she goes
ghosts in
outside to
diff
walk her
yeah,
dog, yep, that's what
ghosts in
happens.
different areas are so different. It's so
Mm,
weird. Like the ghosts here are different from Irene's, and up
yeah,
north they're even more different. It's kind of funny that way.
yeah. And the funny, going to Mount Fuji or going to any place like the Suicide Forest, the highway to has certain areas in that prefectures. We could call them states or whatever you want it. We call them prefectures. There's something haunted in all those places leading up to Mount Fuji. It's all the same route. It's that, yep. And you could, it's just, you could get off the road, go to that place, okay, and go back on the road and go to another place. You're there, and then go back on, and you're all of a sudden you wind up in Mount Fuji. And then Mount Fuji has its own energy because there are a lot of scientists, because Mount Fuji is an active volcano, right?
Mhm.
Scientists, my mother said this a long time ago to me. She said, "There's a lot of deaths on Mount Fuji and it's haunted." I said, "Why?" She goes, "Because the scientists go up there, measure um the lava in the volcano, and measure the um the wavelengths when we're going to get the next earthquake. So when they go up there and measure inside the volcano, they climb out or they don't climb out and they die, or they go down the mountain. They have to walk down the mountain. They die walking down the mountain because they had an accident on the route to the volcano. So, yeah, it's just one of those things that happened, right? And that's why,
Just like Mount Everest.
yep, yep, yeah. And there's lots of volcanoes where Amanda lives. Some of them blow, some of them don't. We get a lot of
We're
uh
on the biggest fault line in history,
yeah,
Connecticut. So if that
mm,
ever decide to happen,
yeah.
bye bye.
Like we
Mount
get
Fu Hiking
we
Mount Fuji has become so dangerous that they now limited the number of people that can go up it.
yeah,
Good. Mount Everest, they don't care. You got the money, you can go.
yeah,
Yeah, and that has so many deaths on that.
yeah,
No, they haven't
um
even removed the bodies.
yeah, yeah. Here there's so much um earthquake activity. Like you get, like in Fukushima, the nuclear disaster and the tsunami. I bet you that's pretty haunted too. And there's another place um, where Japan seaside, and they have an Ishikawa prefecture. A lot of houses along the ocean shore got demolished, and a lot of people died. They got spit out to sea, and they have no bodies left. I bet you that's haunted too.
Oh yeah.
And the shoreline has changed dramatically after that earthquake too. So, and aside from earthquakes, we have a lot of UFO activity too. So every time there's a big earthquake, everyone looks at the sky instead of looking down,
I would
because
I would actually I would actually do a UFO. We ever had the opportunities to go chase a
yeah,
UFO, I'd do it. What? We've
because
already we've already have somebody who's getting sacrificed for the anal probing, so that's Tammy. So she already I already said.
Going
poor
to
girl.
this question, out of curiosity, is there a lot of superstitions in Japan to
Yeah,
coincide with the haunting? There's a lot of
yeah.
traditions here with that has to do with the supernatural. Like Irene is born on what we call the Day of the Dead here, which means that every day on June 16th over there in Tokyo,
No, July 16th.
July 16th, sorry, July 16th, she goes at midnight they go and clean their family gravestone, because due to space, you don't have your own individual plots. You have a family plot, and because like I said, going back to the land, not having much, you're cremated down to the bones, put in a ceramic pot, and it's put into that stuff into your gravestone.
Yeah.
So
Everyone goes, yeah.
at midnight they go and they clean they clean the family grave. They also bring a meal for the family members too.
Hmm. And we all stand at the grave and we eat the meal with the dead.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yep, yep.
There's also
And
you can't stick your chopsticks in, like,
a
let's say
bowl of
you're
rice.
gonna take a drink of water or something. You can't stick your chopsticks in the food because that's offering
Yes.
to the dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
This nuts that we do is after every funeral. Usually funerals goes in threes. Like after the first person, that it's always lined up in threes. They don't know why, but yeah, it happens. When we come home, we don't go into our house. We have to cleanse ourselves. Everyone is given a gift for going to the funeral because you give money when you go to a funeral, and in return you get a gift and a packet of salt. And everyone cleanses themselves by throwing salt on each shoulder, the head, and the legs. And it's a light cleansing before you enter the home. And because you don't want them coming after you
Or
in
if
your
they
house.
followed you,
Yeah.
Interesting.
And
not following you into your house.
take somebody of your family members with them. So that's what they do here. And unfortunately, July 16th is my birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So here I am. I'm celebrating my birthday and making something for the dead people, right? So,
Hey, at least you're not celebrating alone.
yeah.
All
And
right,
it's
girls.
a
Well, I gotta
haunted
get
month.
going. I gotta finish this episode, Twisted Vines. Thank you guys for
Okay.
having me. And
What is before you go, what advice would you give someone entering the paranormal?
stop watching TikTok and YouTube, and you would just do fine.
Yeah,
Well, thank
that's a
you so
good one.
much for joining us. We appreciate
Yeah.
you coming on, taking the time.
Yeah, if you
And
ever want the girls to be on, reach out to them. They're amazing. They're going to be doing podcasts from here on out. I'm just so slammed with. I got a lot, like I said, distribution deals going on. I got to get the episodes done. I just don't have time. So this is my last time
we're
doing a
definitely
podcast.
looking forward to what was in the future for you and Dark Echoes.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
When does the new season come out? Do you know yet?
Well, season 1's still happening. And like I said, if you want to see the new episodes, go to Paraflix. And then and then once all 8 episodes are done, then the distribution dealer is going to put them out where they need to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
But everyone definitely be on a watch for them then.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thank
Thank
you
you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
and
no,
thank the audience for watching us too, from wherever you are.
Have a good one, girl.
We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.